Hi, my name is Mindy, and today we're going to talk about the food stamp cuts. Okay, before we get into how everybody feels about the food stamp cuts, I'm going to give you an example of what we're talking about here so everybody can have a better understanding of what these new cuts to food stamps actually mean for the average American receiving food assistance. Okay, for a family of three, one adult, two kids, they receive $497 in food stamps. Of that $497, you can break that down. So basically, if you're receiving $497 a month in food stamps, that gives you $124.25 for groceries a week, which, if you divide that by three people, it means that each person in your household has $41.41 a week. If you break it down further by day of the week, uh, if you break it down further by days, divide it by 7, then you get actually 1775 a day to uh, live on. And this is for all three people in your household. This isn't just for one person, this is for all three people in your household. So if you divide that 1775 a day that you're receiving on food assistance. So basically a family of 3 with an adult and 2 children, each person in that household, all three of those people in that household get 1775 a day, and that's for the entire family, 3 people. So for 3 people, you have 1775 a day in food. Well, now that doesn't sound too bad, does it? Okay, take that $75 or that 1775 that you get a day for 3 people, and divide it by the 3 people in your household. And what that equals out to is $5.91 per person that they get for food. Okay? So each person in your household for an entire day gets $5.99 per day to eat. Okay? So that's what you're getting to eat. Now, you can divide that again by 3 meals and it's going to come down considerably less. But that's what you've got for 3 meals a day is actually $5.91 per person. Uh, that's how it breaks down. Okay, that's what what a family of 3 is actually getting in government assistance in food stamps. Okay, now, as you've seen on the news, the government just slashed food stamps again, and they have cut it by $90. Now, these cuts are not supposed to affect anybody but people that receive housing assistance and utility assistance. If you qualify for those 2 programs, then you're going to be cut. And according to the government, this is going to affect 850,000 people that live under these particular guidelines. They get housing and they get utility assistance. Okay, so for those people, uh, we'll look at what a family of 3 gets. What a family of 3 gets after the $90 is cut from their current allotment. Okay, that comes to $407 a month they have for food, which uh, broken down by week is 101.75 $101.75 a week is what a family of 3 has to live on. If you divide that by 7 days, they get $14.53 a day. Okay, you divide that by the 3 people in your household, and uh, you only get $4.84 per person a day to eat. Now, if you divide that by 3 meals, obviously it's significantly less. So this is what we're talking about in America, and this is the effect of this food assistance program. Now, a lot of people are happy about this. You know, they're like, the poor have been getting a free ride for long enough. Go ahead, cut their food stamps. Uh, they need to get jobs. They need to get off their lazy asses and get jobs. I mean, this is the popular opinion in the U.S. right now is that people should just get off their fat asses and get jobs. Okay, that's a great idea. I'm all for it. You know, you know, but there's one problem with this. There aren't enough jobs. In fact, there are more people on food assistance at this time than in any other time in history. Why? Because there's a lot of people on food assistance now that lost their jobs and can't find another job. Trust me, these people do not want to be on governmental aid. Heck, no one wants to be on governmental aid. You'd be crazy to want to be on governmental aid. They want to find jobs. They can't support their family on the governmental assistance. You know, they've lost their homes and everything. So that's why. I mean, there aren't enough jobs to keep people working, which means there's a ton of people on the food assistance program more than at any other time. Okay? Now, I know we've all seen the abuse in the system. I know we've all had to stand in line behind these, big, heavy people that, all have EBT cards and are buying hundreds of dollars worth of junk food. Okay? I don't agree with that. I think that food stamps should be reformed. I don't think that you should be able to buy junk food with food stamps. I don't think you should be able to buy soda with food stamps. And I certainly don't think you should be able to buy candy. Okay? Yes, that needs to be reformed. People should only be allowed to use governmental aid for nutritious foods. Okay? There are plenty of people that are eating themselves to disability. Okay? And I agree. There are a number of people on welfare that could definitely work. But again, finding those people jobs is the problem. Okay? As far as, a lot of people think, well, you get money from the government, you can get money, you can just live on money from the government for the rest of your life. No. TANF assistance, which is cash assistance to poor people, has a ratio of 36 months. You cannot be on TANF assistance past that 36 month period. Okay, that's it. You're done. And you can't go back on TANF for, I think it's a period of a year or two. So no, cash assistance is not an unending stream as many people believe. And the other side of this coin is many of the people that are on food assistance. I worked for 15 years as an NAC, and I took care of severely disabled people. And these are people that cannot work, that have things like cystic fibrosis and stuff like that. And yes, they receive Social Security, but it's not enough. They also receive food assistance, okay? And they don't receive enough food assistance as it is. So these cuts, are going to be detrimental. Okay, but let's get off poor people for now, okay? Let's play it out. The $90 cuts are in effect. This is obviously a good idea that the government has come up with for many of Americans. Okay, let's look at this from a cost perspective. Okay, you've got 850,000 people that are taking a cut of $90 in their food assistance. Well, people don't just stockpile that food assistance. They actually use it. So these people, poor or not, EBT or not, are taking the money that the government is giving them and they're pouring it back into the economy when they go in and they spend that $90 in a grocery store. Trust me, the poor people are not stockpiling food assistance. These people actually eat away their food assistance. All that money that they receive for food assistance goes back into the economy. It goes to support the grocery stores, the workers that work in these grocery stores. It is a big plus for retail. Okay, so now you have 850,000 people who are getting $90 less. That's a big chunk of change to take away from the grocery industry and from retail stores. So what's going to end up happening? I'll tell you what's going to end up happening. Stores aren't going to just take this loss in the rear and bite it. Heck no. When they lose this money, to offset that money, they're going to raise food prices even more. So what is this going to do? It's going to raise the price of food. Okay, raising the price of food is going to be detrimental to people that are surviving just above the poverty line. People that don't receive assistance from the government, but don't make enough to survive either. Rising food costs puts a bigger strain on them, and what that's going to do is eventually it's going to push these people below the poverty line. So then you'll have more people on food assistance. The other thing it's going to do is put a further strain on the struggling middle class. Okay, these people pay high taxes. They have homes, they have cars. They work hard at their jobs. To make their money. And if you raise and food costs go up, then that just puts a further strain on the middle class. So these cuts make absolutely no sense because the money being cut from the budget is money that gets poured into the economy, supporting grocery stores, retail stores, Walmart. Walmart's having a fit about this. So it affects everybody. Doesn't matter if you're not poor and you're all for let's kick the poor off, off welfare, let's get them off food assistance. Okay, take food assistance away. Let's just cross everybody off food assistance. Let's take it away so that nobody gets food assistance in this country. Everybody's on their own. Okay? All that money that's being paid out in food assistance, again, it goes to the grocery stores. It goes to Walmart. It goes to feed our economy. You subtract the billions of dollars that they're spending currently on food assistance, something like $9 billion, and that's $9 billion less going to the economy. Talk about a crash. Okay? So it doesn't help. It's not going to make things better for people in the country. Instead, it's going to, and many people don't realize this, it's going to create a bigger burden on everybody. Because right now food prices are skyrocketing. There's not, it's harder and harder to stretch a budget. And it's infuriating. Okay? You're cutting $9 billion that gets fed, well, not quite $9 billion, but you're cutting $90 times 850,000 people from the economy. That's money not getting spent in the economy. So that's dropping that off right off the bat. Okay? Instead, and why are we cutting food stamps? Okay? Food stamps, money goes back in the economy. We've got plenty of programs where money is just spent and nothing good comes of it. Let's talk about these wars we're into. We're still in Afghanistan. We're still in Iraq. What are we doing over there? We've accomplished absolutely nothing. We're basically glorified security. Okay, we don't need to be over there. We don't have an impact on their interest over there. Let those people work out their own problems as they've been doing since the beginning of time. Okay? We don't need to be there. Let's bring our troops home. Let's bring our equipment home, and let's stop spending billions and billions of dollars supporting wars that we have no business being in the first place. Okay? There's a lot of places that you can cut useless spending, but that's not happening. No, we're increasing our military spending. We're increasing all these different programs that actually do more harm than good. And then, finally, why can't we tax the rich? For God's sakes. They need to be taxed. Why can't we tax them? Okay? Even the rich people feel that they should be taxed more. And yet, we're going to cut the poor, hurt the disabled, hurt the elderly people that receive food assistance, do all this, and get nothing back out of it. All it's going to do is hurt the economy. All these vulnerable people are going to be in detrimental circumstances. Okay? That's the way it cuts down. I hope everybody will take the time to actually think this thing out. Thanks.